Feminists claim that we live in a rape culture, and I'm not sure I even know what they mean by that. Do they mean that we live in a culture where rape is acceptable, where rape is tolerated, or even promoted, or glorified? I mean, they're just absolute liars, and they, along with politicians, and even government departments, suggest that false accusations of rape are very, very rare. And it doesn't seem that way to me. In fact, I would act, well, I've said it before and I'll say it again, most accusations of rape are false. So if we live in a rape culture, which we don't, then we automatically live in a culture of false rape allegations. And I'm going to give you a little bit of evidence here that indeed we do. So I'm going to start with an article from the 11th, this is the 11th of June this month, just a few days ago. This is from the Daily Mail Online. Teenager 18 who lied that her ex-boyfriend drugged and raped her is fined £200 for wasting police time. Now, that, of course, is an appallingly low sentence. And I'm going to go through some of the comments, actually, on this case, because I'm going to deal with three cases here as briefly as possible. Wasting police time in this country carries a maximum sentence of up to 6 months. Now, this particular woman couldn't be charged with perverting the course of justice, which carries a sentence of up to life imprisonment because of her age. Now, it says here, Hannah Sandover, 18, claimed her ex-boyfriend drugged and raped her in his car. She was a fucking liar, but maybe at the time she was 17. So if you're under the age of 18, it's very difficult to, if not impossible, to prosecute for perverting the course of justice. But anyway, that's from the 11th. So let's have a look at the next headline. And this is again from the Daily Mail Online, and this is from the 12th, the next day. Woman 37 who falsely claimed she was kidnapped and raped by two men who bundled her into a van at a folk festival is let off with a slap on the wrist despite wasting more than 200 hours of police time. Absolutely disgraceful. She was given a conditional discharge. In other words, hardly any kind of a punishment at all. Now, she should have been charged with perverting the course of justice. And I'm going to go through the comments on that as well. I'm not really going to go into the details of these cases, but I just want to show that the public opinion is totally, almost totally, against feminists and the lies that they tell, and against these pathetic sentences that these women are getting. Almost everyone wants them to be sentenced properly. So I'll just do the next case. And this is from the same day, the 12th. Attention seeker left taxi driver's life in tatters after falsely claiming he'd sexually assaulted her. Okay, so she didn't say rape, but, you know, it's not far off. She almost destroyed this man's life. And that's from the same day. This was a report from Wales Online. This is here on Wales. So this wouldn't have made, I don't think, the English-based press. So, you know, Wales would be considered by some people patronisingly to be a region of Britain. And of course it's a separate country. But, you know, you imagine how many regional reports there are on these false allegations that don't even make the national press. And you imagine again the number of false allegations that women make that they don't even take to the police. They just make them false. I've seen it myself in the past. A friend of one of my brothers was falsely accused by a woman who picked him up in a nightclub. They went home, had sex, and her boyfriend had just finished with her. And this is a very common reason why women make these allegations. She wanted the boyfriend back, and thank God she told one of her girlfriends of what she was going to do, because when she told him that she'd been raped, he said, "No, you weren't. You set this all up. Your friend said so." She lost all of her friends, and should she have been sent to prison? I don't know. She didn't take. If she took it to the police, yes. And anyway, I'm going to get back to this first case, give some brief details, and then give a few of the comments. So the teenager who lied about her ex-boyfriend. She told police he became forceful, pinned me down. I kept telling him to stop. but the story unravelled and she made it up because he refused to rekindle affair. See, just like the case I mentioned. Sandover later said that she became too scared to admit she'd been lying. Yeah, scared of fucking jail. But instead she gets a £200 fine. A teenager was not prosecuted for perverting the course of justice because of age. There's no point. I'm going to leave links to all of these cases, which I'll put in the comments section and pin them to the top if you want to actually read the cases. So I'm just going to skip down to the comments section. And this is as good as a consensus of public opinion. This is like a vote. Fantasists like this are extremely dangerous, and the £200 fine is a joke, considering the stress, anguish and defamation of character she caused. A custodial sentence should have been given, and mandatory psychiatric therapy. 2,160 thumbs up, 6 thumbs down from feminists, obviously. Disgusting. She should have got a prison sentence. 1,479 thumbs up, 3 thumbs down. You see, the judges are just absolutely out of touch with public opinion. Prison for rape liars. 981 thumbs up, 4 thumbs down. And as a reply to that, it will only happen if you are male. 115 thumbs up, 1 thumbs down. And very often when the police or the Crown Prosecution Service, the police consider sending a file to the CPS, or the Crown Prosecution Service then consider the thing, they'll do so in what they will say is whether or not it's in the public interest to prosecute. Well, the public seem very interested in this, and yet so many of these false accusations which go to the police, the vast majority of them never make it to the courts. And for that I blame feminists and politicians. A tiny, tiny, tiny number of people fucking our country up. Anyway, back to this one about the woman who falsely claimed that she was kidnapped and raped by 2 men. I'll just give you a few details and then again look at a few comments. A musical festival goer who wasted 200 hours of police time with false rape and kidnap claims has got off without punishment. Marissa Cheeseman, 37, of Chatham, Kent, claimed she'd been abducted by 2 men when she was at Yorkshire's Whitby Folk Festival, but the allegations were completely made up. Police slammed her actions after they dedicated 25 officers to the case, with some working their rest days, working on their spare time to try and track down the phantom rapists. Cheeseman admitted wasting police time, but walked free from court on a conditional discharge, meaning she won't be punished unless she commits another offence. And I'll do 5 comments here because they are all so spot on, and it just shows that the courts and politicians are just letting the public down and ignoring, as usual, what the public want. Sorry, but an accusation of that nature is sufficiently serious that it warrants far, far more than the sentence that has been handed down. The starting point should be the probable sentence that would be faced by the accused had her allegations not been a pack of lies. 402 thumbs up, 1 thumbs down. Astonishingly lenient, and yesterday a woman was fined a paltry £200, not much more than a parking ticket, for falsely claiming that a man had raped her. He spent hours in custody and months waiting to be cleared. 376 thumbs up, 2 thumbs down. Another one. When will this sheer lunacy end? God knows is my answer to that. When men stand up to it and people stand up to it. 335 thumbs up, 3 thumbs down from feminazis. And this is why there are so many false rape complaints. What a shame compared to the story a week or so ago where a false complainant was sentenced. I didn't catch that case. 330 thumbs up, 4 thumbs down. These people are the cause of the increase in crime. There has been an epidemic of false rape claims, and now this one, and the police must send these people that make fake claims to jail. 292 thumbs up, 6 thumbs down. He sums it up. It's an epi-fucking-demic. So the third one, an attention seeker falsely told the police she had been sexually assaulted by a taxi driver in his cab, leaving his career and reputation in tatters. Claire Morgan fabricated the allegation, which led to innocent Samir Udin being arrested, subjected to DNA tests, and having his taxi license suspended, so he struggled to support his family. And if you read the whole report, she really is a pathological fucking liar, and she really trashed this guy up. I mean, all of these women do. Sentencing her at Cardiff Crown Court, Judge Ellery Rees said this was a wicked course of conduct. At least I'll just drop down to the sentencing now. Morgan, 35, of Mysavelin in Wildmill Bridgend, admitting perverting the course of justice. They should all be, if they're over the age of 18, they should all be charged with perverting the course of justice, and they should all, the standard thing which most people accept is that the women who make these accusations, and men do it as well, but mostly women, but the people who make these false allegations, they should be put on trial. If it's found that they've lied through their teeth, and they're convicted of perverting the course of justice, the judge should sum up what he or she would have given the person they were alleging did this to them. What kind of a sentence would they have given them? Give the same to women. Of course, feminists always say, well, that would put women coming forward with real accusations. Well, of course, men are just as entitled to the same protection from the law as women, because these women who do this are as bad as rapists themselves. Anyway, she got 30 months, and she's been a jailbird before. 30 months, at least she got jail, but that's nowhere near long enough. Women there needs to be, the sentences given to them have to be real deterrents. Thank you. Let me know what you think in the comments section.